Number 6, 2014 Honda CTX-1300. When Honda announced that they were making a cruiser, bike enthusiasts all over the world became pretty excited, hoping for some kind of Roar TV Max-style power cruiser ride. Now, there's no doubt that the bike was definitely a looker, with a pretty sporty vibe, but as I said earlier, looks aren't everything when it comes to a ride. The most common complaint about the bike was about the 1,261 cubic centimeter V4 engine that produced only around 80 horsepower. It was basically a detuned ST1300 engine, and you had to rev it more to get it to go, and a little more on the throttle at highway speeds or going up long hills. All of this meant that the bike should have come with more power, but this wasn't even the main issue. At high speed, the bike started to vibrate like a tin can. On long or short rides, some complaints were that hands would go numb, plastic tabs would break over time. The annoying vibration that came with rides could only be tolerated for a short while. The bike also had a low, blustery windshield and no cruise control. To make the decision of not buying this machine was that with a weight of 732 pounds and a price of almost $17,000, it was extremely heavy and pricey. So sorry, Honda, but when it comes to experiments, maybe you should leave this for others. You know what was another experiment? Number 5, the Harley-Davidson Sportster 1000. Before Harleys became a go-to choice for bikers, once again, there was a time where almost every other biker started running from the name Harley-Davidson. The bike started to have all sorts of issues, and a true combination of all these issues was launched as the Harley-Davidson Sportster 1000. One of the major problems that this bike had was an insane amount of oil leakage. Because of this, the bike would spend more time in a workshop than on the roads. Can you imagine the frustration? In terms of design, this bike returned with a true retro look that made Harleys famous in the first place, but beneath that shine and style, everything was disastrous. Due to poor production, no two bikes ran in the same way, and this inconsistency was insane. The 61 cubic centimeter engine nowhere nearly provided the torque and power that it promised. Some engines were so poorly put together that the vibrations would become unavoidable during longer rides and rattle the whole machine. Another problem that you would never expect from a company like Harley was the clunky gearbox. Because of this fault, false neutrals became a common issue with sportspers, frustrating the riders even more. However, despite all of its problems, the Sportster 1000 isn't the top Harley on this list. So which one is it? You'll figure it out later on in the video. Let's move on to number 4, Suzuki RE5. There are many modern machines that have become popular because of their complicated mechanics, but there have been rides that failed miserably because of the very same reason. RE5 is one of the few motorcycles to ever appear with a Wankel rotary combustion engine. Now, one of the first weird things that was announced with the launch of the bike was the detail of warranty, a full engine replacement for any engine problem within the first 12 months or 12,000 miles. For any not dumb person, this announcement should have made clear that something was definitely fishy. Another thing that made this bike a difficult choice was its unusual weight and complexity. The rotary engines produced a lot of heat, so the RE5 had both water and oil cooling, double-skinned exhaust pipes, 2 sets of ignition points, 3 oil reservoirs, and 2 oil pumps. It also had 5 cables from the twist grip controlling the primary carburetor butterfly, a valve in the port valve, and oil supply to the combustion chamber. I mean, with this much complexity, you can imagine the headache that a simple maintenance would cause. Because of these complications and regular complaints about the engine, Cycle World magazine said the RE5 was expensive, overcomplicated, underpowered, and hideous. Well, harsh, but unfortunately true.